Hi guys, so in this video we're going to talk about equations of a circle. So we're going to be able to write an equation of a circle based off of the information that was provided for us. So the standard form is just going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, so we're going to use this formula here. Just know that h and k, so note that h and k, they're going to be the center, right? And then r is going to be the radius. Okay, so based off of this right here, we're going to be able to write out some equations. Okay, so the only thing that stays the same, that doesn't change, is going to be your x and your y. Okay, x, y, and then these squares, so this square and this square stays the same. Okay, so all these squares stay the same. The ones that change is going to be your h, your k, and your r. Okay, so I'm just going to erase this so that you don't get confused. But okay, so for the first one, right, when we're starting it off, it's always going to be x minus, and then our center is 5 and 3, right? So that means that 5 is h, and then 3 is k, right? So x minus 5 squared plus y minus, and then k is 3, equals, and then your r squared is 2, right? So 2, if you substitute 2 in for r, 2 squared is going to be 4. Okay. All right, and then number 3, if you look at number 3, it says the center is -2 and -11 with a diameter now. So the diameter is 18, which means that the radius, because remember the diameter is 2 times the radius. So the diameter is 18, the radius has to be 9. So we're going to use that. Okay, so when I'm writing it out, we're going to start it off with x minus, and then the center is -2. So if h is -2 and k is -11, right? So x minus h, which is -2. So remember, whenever you have two negatives, that just turns into a positive. Okay, so I'm just gonna put +2 squared plus y minus, and then k is also -11, right? So that means that this changes into a +11 squared equals, and the radius is 9. So because the radius is 9, 9 squared is going to be 81. All right. So I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see that. There you go. Okay, and then lastly, number 5 that we're going to do. So the center is -4, 0, right? So I have h and k. Right, so -4, 0. So I'm going to start off with x minus, and then h is -4, right? So that means that this has to be +4 squared. And then because it has y minus, so plus y minus 0. So you could leave it like this, y minus 0, or you could even just, instead of having the 0 here, you could even just write it as y squared, right? Because that's the same thing. That means that your k is 0, and then equals, Now the radius is the square root of 47. So if I looked at this, so the square root of 47, and the radius is getting squared, right? So it'd be squared like this. That means that the square root and the square would actually cancel each other out. So you're just left with 47 on the inside. So instead of writing all this, I'm actually just going to write out 47.